I'm Susan Koenig, and this is Somatics for You. I fell off a ladder about 8 feet and I injured myself. I've got both wrists in a cast. My right injury is by far the worst. I fractured my radial bone at the wrist. On the left side, I fractured my scaphoid bone, a small bone below the thumb. And I just want to show you that even when you have an injury and you have a lot of limitation, like from the cast, you can still work with yourself somatically. I have good flexibility with my left fingers and always did. And my orthopedist doctor wants me to work with my right fingers so that they begin to match my left fingers. When I was first injured, I had a huge splint on. It was very heavy. It wasn't this streamlined cast, and it blocked the movement in my fingers. Then after about 2 weeks, they put me in this cast, and when I first got this cast on, my fingers were really swollen, and I had maybe about that much movement. I couldn't move them at all, and it was uncomfortable. So I've come a long way, but I have a long way to go. So I'm just showing you within the principles of Somatic education how I'm more specifically working with my right fingers. So I'm working pendicularly, which means that you make a contraction, a voluntary contraction within your comfort zone, and then a slow release out of the contraction to lengthen the fibers. So I'm just going to show you what I do. So I'm going to be flexing each of the fingers of the right hand, and I'm going to offer a little resistance with my left index finger. So I press down with my baby finger into flexion, and then I'm slowly releasing out of flexion. I'm making a voluntary contraction with my ring finger towards flexion. I'm offering some resistance with my left index finger, and now I'm slowly releasing my right ring finger. I'm pressing down into flexion with my left middle finger, my right middle finger, and then I'm slowly releasing out of flexion with my right middle finger, just to where the contraction stops. I press down with my index finger on the right. My left index finger is offering some resistance. I keep that resistance as I slowly release out of the contraction with my right index finger. I'm offering resistance to my right thumb towards flexion and then releasing out of flexion with my right thumb. And I would repeat that several times. Sometimes I try to work with the various joints. In this demonstration, I'm mostly working with the joint that seems to bend the most. Now I'm going to work with extension. So I offer some resistance with my left index finger to my right pinky or baby finger in extension, and then I slowly release out of extension. Now I'm extending my ring finger, and I'm slowly releasing out of extension just to when the contraction stops. I'm not pulling in the opposite direction. And then extension of the middle finger with resistance, slowly releasing out of extension. Moving into extension with my index finger, slowly releasing out of extension just until the contraction stops. Extending my thumb and slowly releasing out of extension. And I would do that, I would repeat 1 to 3 times. Now I'm going to just show you a little bit about the forearm. Again, on my left side, I have very good forearm movement. It's impeded a little bit by the cast. I just stay within my comfort zone. On the right, it feels good if it's slightly elevated and something is soft underneath it. And I don't have very much forearm movement. So I just take the movement I have, I turn my forearm in one direction. I'm using muscles to voluntarily contract in that direction. And then I'm just slowly releasing until the movement stops. And I would repeat that a few times. And then I'm voluntarily contracting, turning my palm towards my face. This is as far as I can go in comfort. And then slowly releasing out of that. And again, I would repeat that a few times. And I try to do it a few times a day. And in that way, I'm working with my fingers, and certainly I still have better movement with my left than my right, but now I've got quite a bit more with my right, and I'm beginning to be able to grasp things that are very light. I use both my fingers a lot more. I can put on clothing more easily now. And so I really feel like I'm coming along. And I hope this demonstration encourages you, wherever you have a limitation, within your comfort zone, to make a voluntary contraction and then a slow release out of the contraction. Thank you.